Which one of history's good guys was actually a horrible person?
So I learned recently that Coco Chanel of Chanel No. 5 was very anti-Semitic and eventually became a Nazi spy.
Rudyard Kipling, author of The Jungle Book. Paraphrasing, the only way to keep the yellow man out is to bring the white man in.
Jebediah Springfield, or his real less commonly known name, Hans Sprungfeld the murderous pirate.
While he almost certainly wasn't the first to say it, Lord Acton once observed that great men are almost always bad men. Pluck any great man from history, those rare figures about whom the story of the human race seems to turn, and you find a monster who changed the world, probably without even intending to do so.
Not necessarily a good guy, but got lots of positive attention from the release of The Greatest Showman. Apparently P.T. Barnum was a terrible person in real life.
Tinkerbell. Everybody thinks she was so cute and such a good friend to Peter, but she was a jealous psychopath, and tried to murder Wendy several times.
Henry Ford was so anti-Semitic that Hitler considered him a hero.
This is a hard one to admit, because I definitely loved his book, and idolized his antics a bit, when I was a young physics major. But Richard Feynman, he committed domestic violence against his wife.
Bob Marley. And there's a very good story to back this up that also explains how he grew to be #1 reggae singer of Jamaica. He had a posse of friends that would intimidate radio networks of Jamaica into playing his music, as well as destroying the alpha discs of other newer artists. I don't know what they are called, but the copy the radio networks were given in order to play on the air. He might have been trying to promote feel-good music and peace, and all that, but he was a thug when it came to getting that music out.
There's a statue of Oliver Cromwell in London. Loads of movies about him, and how he was a brave revolutionary. Nah, fuck that. He was an evil sociopath, who committed genocide on Irish Catholics, and turned the UK into a Puritan dictatorship.
Charlie Chaplin. He got married to a 15-year-old girl because he got her pregnant when she was 14. He was openly pedophile. And, from what I've read, quite an asshole.
Alexander Graham Bell. This man did not invent the telephone. Several people were working on similar technology at the same time. Antonio Meucci invented it first, but there was a court case over who got the patent rights. Meucci died before the case was settled, and Graham Bell won the glory he didn't deserve.
Sir John A. Macdonald, first Prime Minister of Canada, did a lot for the country in its infancy, but treated Indigenous people like garbage.
Elvis Presley. He never wrote a song in his life, but his record label made any songwriters hand over half of their writing fees, before Elvis would record their songs. He's credited as a co-writer on the majority of his songs.
Yes, that's why Dolly Parton refused to let him record I Will Always Love You. She wouldn't sign away any of the songwriting credit or future profits from her work. She's a savvy businesswoman.
John Lennon? Violent wife beater, vicious and hateful little shitbag. He used to scream at his baby boy when he was crying because it distracted him. Wrote Imagine speaking about dreaming of no possessions, from his multi-million-dollar condo overlooking Central fucking Park in NYC. Didn't speak to George Harrison for months after he published his autobiography because it didn't praise Lennon quite enough for his taste. Absolute piece of shit.
Edison electrocuted an elephant to show that AC electricity is dangerous. Supposedly wasn't a great scientist either. Allegedly he was a great project manager and businessman though.
Churchill was horrifically racist. Thought people from India were less than human. It was something they were talking about on the news a while ago, because they were talking about whether to get rid of all the statues of him as part of Black Lives Matter. I fully intend to mention that in any history lessons on the topic from here on out. It's important that children are able to see history from multiple angles, and critically evaluate what happened and why someone might be seen as good from one standpoint but bad from another.
Fritz Haber, he invented fertilizer which helped feed billions of people, but at the same time he invented mustard gas used in World War I.
Winston Churchill, he diverted food stocks from India, during the colonial rule over India, to feed British troops during the Second World War, causing the death of more than 3 million people in the Indian state of Bengal.
Mother Teresa believed that suffering brought you closer to God, just as Jesus suffered on the cross. As a result, there was no pain management or real medical care for the people in her clinics. She looked after the poor, but did nothing to improve their lives. But then she started getting sick, and suddenly modern medicine was okay for her.
Dick Turpin. He was romanticized as a Robin Hood-type fella, brave and dashing with a faithful companion horse called Black Bess. In actual fact, he was a notorious highwayman, thief, rapist and murderer. He was publicly executed in 1739.
Christopher Columbus. He killed God knows how many Native Americans, and screwed over the ones he left alive.
I'll go with Jimmy Savile.
Mahatma Gandhi. Racist, womanizer, possibly a pedophile. Grandpa is still revered in India as the father of the nation. More like fathered the nation. I know, crappy pun. Winston Churchill, as he was responsible for the genocide of 3 million Indians.
Gandhi did so much dark shit, some of it in his biography also. I don't really want to get into it, but a lot of very questionable decisions by the great man. By the way, I'm Indian. It shouldn't matter, but it does.
Thanks for watching. If you have any views you want to share, please write them in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on more videos like this.